Hi guys, I'm Sunny Chayes. I'm in the beautiful Hollywood, as you can see with my beach behind me. And I am very, very excited to once again bring a solutionary extraordinaire on our show, Solutionary Sundays. And of course, you guys know this show goes on many platforms. We are in a place in our lives, in our community, and in our culture and world for real solutions. What are we going to be bringing to ourselves, our own self-love, our own self-health, and how does that affect our families, our community, and if we're people who are doing things in the global world stage, there too. And I want to read a quote that I absolutely love that is in our guest Natalia's book, and it's from John F. Kennedy. The problems of the world cannot possibly be solved by skeptics or cynics whose horizons are limited by the obvious realities. We need men who can dream of things that never were. And of course, this was written in the 60s, and so it is women and children and all kinds of people who can bring it. So I want to go ahead and bring on, and then I'm going to brag all about her, our beautiful and incredible guest, Natalia Kobylkina. Let us bring her on. Woohoo! Hello, beauty. She's in UK at the moment, but from Bulgaria, so kind of recently in the UK, yes?
Yeah, I live 0 to years in UK. Always was my dream, and very happy to be in London.
Well, you are good at creating your dreams. I want to tell you guys that Natalia is an entrepreneur extraordinaire, and she wrote this book that I finished reading last night, Navigating Success, an entrepreneur's map to navigating success, actually. And it is really, really powerful, Natalia. Congratulations for that book. I know you've written others, and but it's a rockin' book, girl. I dig it.
You know, for me, very important when you write something, I have 8 books, to write through your experience. When I started my business 12 years ago, it was just a dream. And many people joke with me and say, hey, you're a girl, you're beautiful, better to be only wife, why you need to make a business? And I say, but I want to make a business. And I start like a hobby, and very, very fast, my hobby became to be a business, and now it's the biggest company on Balkanic country about personal development of women. We have hundreds of seminars, education, books. I have my TV show, and we create a really huge empire. We help a lot of people. I was chosen the most influenced person in country in social media. And it's become to be huge industry. And people who was skeptic and was joking in the beginning after say, how you did it? When Forbes invite me like one of the most successful coach in country, they again say, how you did it? I say, you just did.
Well, you have quite a journey, of course. You started sort of from nothing and built quite a beautiful, incredible, financially successful, but also impactful business. And you had this primetime show where you were speaking to men and women about very bold and out of the box and, you know, tell it like it is kind of subjects. And you were talking about sex and all different kinds of things. And I just love that. Bold girl. I love it. I mean, it's so great to be able to be that free and really give other people the sort of invitation to be free in their own lives, of course, appropriate and all of that, but to really feel like they can spread their wings a little bit. We can spread our wings. I include myself in that conversation.
You know, I'm old-fashioned woman, and I believe in education. I tell it because now very often young people say, who cares about education? It's not necessary. I continue to believe in education. I have 2 higher education. One was psychology of business. Second was clinical, medical, family psychology and sexology. And when I finished my university with honor, I was one of the best students. I love to study, and I go many conference articles and scientific articles. I decided what to do. To be business, I was business trainer and business coach. I was the most younger human resources manager in Cosmopolitan Men's Health, Top Gear, huge published house. 21 already, I manage 100 people. 22, I've been one of the most successful corporate trainer. I work with direct management of the banking on the huge company. And then I decided to create my company when I was 33 and to combine it and to put my knowledge about sexologists and family issue. And when one people, it's very famous persons like Larry King in Bulgaria, invite me from like a guest in his TV show, and I speak very honestly about relationship, about sexual life. After this TV show, they called me and say, we want contract with you. And I say, sorry. And they say, I want you to work in television. And after 1 week already, I was in the prime time, the TV leader, and I make my first TV show. I wake up, big star, celebrity. Oh, the next day, oh, Natalia, I saw yesterday your TV show. I think until today, we are has the biggest number in the prime channel, the best channel in country, with my TV show, without some experience in media, in journalist, or something. And it give huge success after I make my own TV show many times in media business many years. But it was luck. Somebody say, you have luck. Yes, luck, but I studied 5 years. I spent all my holidays and I wake up at 6 o'clock to go in university to make experience. I work like volunteer many years. I stay in the hospital to work like clinical psychology, absolutely free. And it look like a luck, but I don't believe luck if you don't work very hard for your success.
Well, that's what it is about. I definitely think it's a combination. And one of the things that I loved in your book, I have my actual sketch pad here that I draw on. And when I was reading your book, I wrote down different things that I really loved about what you did in your book. And one of the things that I really loved, oh gosh, I have all kinds of notes here. I love this. Do not be afraid to give up the good, to go for the great. John D. Rockefeller. I think that is something that happens with so many of us. And I think the COVID time helped crack a little bit of the calcification off, that we've been living maybe comfortable lives, doing what we're used to, doing what we know that we can accomplish, and not stretching a little bit, not reaching for something that might be scary, might be out of our comfort zone. And I love this, going for the great. I love that quote. So thank you for having that in your book. And I think it's super impactful.
You know, very important. All of us, we have crisis. We live not easy life at the moment, but always, how say Chinese people, crisis, it's opportunity. When COVID came, I sit and I was shocked because like mostly of trainers, I have all session live that I did with people. I make live seminars. My team work like this. And one moment we need to change all. It doesn't work. And I have a responsibility. I have a big team, which I need to pay salary and to take care about these people. And I sit and say what I can do, which opportunity God give me. And we totally very fast to change all the model of business. So we come to be online. Thank you, God, we've been ready for this. And the COVID years, it's become to be the most successful year for my company. We grew up 3-4 times our revenue. We make very good results. We make a lot of free work from people, a lot of volunteer. I create academy of trainers. We teach, help people. And every time I see, then if something difficult, use it like opportunity, grab it and say how I can be more successful with this. This question always need to stay in your brain. What I can give more, how I can serve more people, how I can serve more society. Always my company is about serving. Like your work, it's also you serve our people who listen us, who follow you, follow your beautiful job. When you serve with your knowledge, with your heart, with your energy, you always have result. Not have chance, not have result.
Yes, it's so beautiful. And that really comes through, Natalia, when I read your book, especially just this one right now, The Entrepreneur's Map to Navigating Success. I was expecting, because I read your bio and a bunch of different aspects about your life, you're a very, very broad woman. And this was really beautiful in the way that you have a lot of very good tips, a lot of specific steps, step by step, this and that. You handle aspects of building a business, large and the very, very small. Maybe you have 3 employees or 2, to the 100, 200 aspect. And a lot of the elements are the same that you talk about. And so I so appreciate it. And you bring so much. And I just really respect you for that. One of the things, again, that I loved in it, I have a thing, I write for Whole Life Times, and in all my writing, I have an area where I write rockin' resources. And my article may be about, environment, trees, or whatever, and I have books, films, articles, this or that. And throughout your book, I enjoyed so much thinking the different books that you put in, the different films you put in, of course, the beautiful quotes you put in. And with the quotes, it reminds me of Leah. I want to read more about John D. Rockefeller or Carnegie or JFK or this one or that one. And the movies, I have seen all of them. And when you mentioned them in your book, it was like, oh, yeah, that really ties to this point. That really, like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. I mean, that movie was incredible on so many manifesting levels. And so I think you have some rockin' resources in this, girl.
No, you are very right. Has also one thing. Most of men, which I citate in my book, it's a man. And for me, it was very important to see that we are, as a women, we also has huge powerful, because if you open Forbes or statistics, of course, mostly of successful people, it's a men. Because for women who is usually single or don't have children. And for me, it was very important, because I have my small son, 3 years old, my husband, to have this balance, because very often I listen from women, if I will make business, I cannot have my family. And it's not true. Yes, it's difficult. For example, 2 days ago, they invited me from one very good business event. My husband now has business trip. I am alone with my son. And I say, can I take my son with me? And they say, he will quiet, take him. And he was very quiet, he's sleepy. And they say, how you do it? How you combine? You meet with one very big guy in some business, huge meetings. The same time you give milk to your child and you continue the conversation. Is it possible? And this is balance, and for me very important that it's a book write from women, because mostly a book of business you will write from men, and men go to make business, his wife stay home, take care about children, and all in balance. But if you are a woman with dreams, and if you are a woman with energy, and if you are a woman who can do, and you can and you want to have both, girls, it's also possible. Of course, it's priority, of course, it's balance, but it's possible. And don't tell yourself I cannot find men or I can have a child if I have business.
Well, I love, thank you for all of that. And I love, my favorite word seems to be in the last year, balance. Because I feel like it's so important for us. And I think in the word balance, not necessarily with the letters, but the energy of balance means we can sort of have it all. It isn't a trade-off or a sacrifice or a being a martyr or any of that. I too had kids when I owned a clothing business, and I had one little one who helped me a lot in my business, helping me. And then I was pregnant, and then I had the other one in my office at 2 weeks old. And I would be nursing, and the people would come from Europe or New York to show me fabric, and they just knew I'd be nursing in my beautiful dress and and baby, like a Madonna, I think, back in those days. I think that is one of the most beautiful, beautiful kind of wishes, prayers, and goals, if it's not attainable yet, is to really be truthful to ourselves about all the things that we want, perhaps even in a day, like food, exercise. And it doesn't have to be exercise. It can just be getting up when we're watching Netflix, and every time music comes on, just get up and dance with your weights. Or playing with our kids, sitting on the floor doing brio. I mean, it's so, and stretch when you're on the floor doing brio. I mean, and then getting our work done and being respectful to our child and saying, okay, just 1 minute, I have to go do whatever, carry on with brio or your apple slices. I mean, there is a way. I just know there is. And I think these days, more and more, we can feel so much more just like we have a beautiful life, and we're not missing out if we use that balance, if we activate that balance. Don't you think?
Yes, it's about this, and I would like to say the difference how men make a business and women. In my book, I tell a lot about this. Usually, when we are women, we do something because we love it. We have a passion. I am a psychologist. I like to have people. I like to say change after my work, and for me, it's hobby. It's my heart. When men make business, for him, it's a money. He see if it's profitable for me, if it's practical. He can don't like so much his product, but he will do it because it's make him to make money and he will happy. And for women, we always were in the flow. You follow your wishes, you follow your flow, and from this you attract other women. The business which we are doing, TV show like you do, psychological books, art studio, artists, songs. It's when we as a women we do it. Usually it's not so huge, but we really enjoy it.
Beautiful.
And one moment when we want to grow up, we take manager man. Usually he took us on the different position and he start to make business from this. But if we, as a women, we are looking our spirit. We are always looking to feel happy. And if women ask me to how to start to make a business, in my book on navigation success, we speak a lot about this. I say, what is your passion? What you really likes to do? And see how you can make monetization of this, how you can start to make products from what you like, from your passion. For example, when my marketing ask me what you like, I say, I'm a very sexual woman, but I don't know how to work this. And he said, be sexologist. And I say, but it's very normally to enjoy sex. He say, no, you know how many women don't enjoy it and how many troubles has in family about intimacy life. And when I started to do it, it was truth. Many people has troubles after relationship, after other things. And by topic by topic, where is my passion? Always I make products, people to be happy. And girls, be brave to make your business. See where's your passion and ask yourself how I can make a product. After you need team, business plan, and actions, and you're ready.
I love that. And one of the quotes in your book, which I love, is, if I want things in my life, why don't I have them already? Like, come on, people, get it together. What the bleep is going on? And I love that because I am really, really working with that right now, actually, in my life. I had what I thought was going to be a really big health challenge. And I just recently found out in this week, actually, that it's gone. It's nothing. So, I'm just thrilled. In that process, though, I started reading your book and and before that, I started doing work with myself about what have I not really been activating yet? What is it that I really want to do in this life? What if I am gone in, a short bit of time? What do I want my life to really be about? And I did a lot of work on that, writing, and I got to the point where it was very emotional for me. I understood that I really have blocked myself in certain things, and I've done emotional, spiritual, sacred, and therapeutic work on it over the years about why I hold myself back from being bigger, all of that. And so many of the women in our field have that. As big as most, the celebrities I know who are women, they still kind of have that feeling of, oosh, I don't want to be that seen. But I was able to dig into exactly why. And I've never been able to do that before. I've worked on this for like a lot of years. And I was really able to get at it, Natalia. And it was really about, I felt that I am liked and loved more when I'm not really making waves, when I'm not really being disruptive. I want to just, no, I'm afraid of that. And I never realized that I had that fear, that it was that element until I read your book and I did some of your exercises, and I went very deep and I thought, wow, I just want to be liked. And I think that would be because I'm copacetic, is a word we used to use in the 80s. And now I'm really working with that. And another quote that you have here, you unlock an enormous reservoir of energy every time you do something, quote unquote, crazy. do something atypical. And the rich see opportunities, the poor see problems. And for me, I was thinking, gosh, can I be brave and just kind of let go of, so people won't like me, or some people may not like me. I'm sure there are people who don't like me anyway. So why have that stop me? But anyway, thank you for that, my friend across the pond.
Thank you. I would like to tell you about what it's very important, and thank you from your sharing. It's motivate a lot of people to inspire and to change. All it stay in our unconscious mind. I have one very amazing example, and she allowed me to share this. One client come to me. She don't have money. Her friends book her one seminar with me, Geisha it called. And when I ask you who you are, she see on me and say, I'm so tired. I'm working horse. I work on 2 jobs. I'm single mother. I have mother who is has very big sickness. I take care about her. I want sometimes to kill myself, but I have 2 children and I must take care about all of them. And I say, what you want to be, who you are on your level of your dreams. And she, Natalia, has reality. Stop to play with me with your psychological bubbles. It's reality. I am one problematic woman. I am 46. My life almost finished. And she was very angry. I say, I understand you, but tell me on the level of dream, who you would like to be. And I ask, and they find, she say, I want to be princess who take care about flowers. I say, great. And we start to work with unconscious mind. We make family constellation. We check why it happened. Her father was alcoholic. Her ex-husband was alcoholic. In the end, I give her one homework. I say, you need to go one website. She say, I never go website. Go one website and meet with men and tell him this. And I gave her algorithm. After 6 months, I came London, and one lady, I had one seminar, and she come to hug me. And I say, I don't remember you. We know each other. So, Natalia, I don't remember. Working horse, princess, working horse, princess. I say, it's you. What you're doing here? Because she lives other country. And she say, I met with one man. He invited me to meet. We met, and he fall to love to me. He's very successful. He live in one small castle. He took me in his country. We take nurse from my mother. We took my children there. And now what I'm doing, I take care about his garden because he has huge garden. I doesn't work. We just travel everywhere with his jet, and I enjoy my life. And I came to recognize you with him, to make pictures. I want you to share the story with ladies. Fantastic story. I have many stories like this, and we just change your mind. It's the same 46 years old women. But when you clean unconscious mind, when you know what you want, when you connect with your soul, with your potential, she make actions. She go website, she spoke with men, she told what I told her, she relocate other country, she leave her mother with nurse, was not easy. She changed her children. It's not only that it's happened, she make actions, but in the end, she has result.
Beautiful. Well, and thank you so much for all of the inspiration that you bring to so many different people. And again, so that's such a beautiful story. And and thank you for a couple of the other exercises that you have. One of the exercises that I love, and I've done this over the years, the concept of burning is so great. And of course, tribal people for thousands and thousands of years have used fire as an element for cleansing, for letting go. Well, first of all, for letting go, then cleansing, then, sort of dancing around bonfires, and the idea of the phoenix rising from the ashes, and all those concepts of fire and mythology. And it's just in our DNA, I think. The exercise that you did about writing, or that you explain in the book, about writing down sort of different elements of your life, picking what it might be, maybe a certain experience where you were abused, or something, and writing. Again, that's why I use big paper. This is like for little kids for sketching, but I love to write big, and that kind of helps too. Is actually write big. Physically, and then taking that paper and then crumpling it up, and then putting it on the floor and stomping on it. And again, I think of like the Italians making wine, stomping on it, and then taking that, ripping it, and then burning the bleep out of it. And each process of that is another aspect of letting go, right? So it is the getting at it in your mind. And then when you start writing, more stuff comes, more stuff comes, more stuff comes. And it's so great. It's like excavating. And then you take it and crumple it. Then you stomp on it. Then you burn it. Whoa. It's pretty much gone by then, I would think. Right?
Yeah, it's very important burning, but burning important after when you come unconscious love. What happened very often, I separate word on the hell and paradise. Hell, we do our hell. For hell, when you feel offensive, when you're afraid, when you blame, why I have mother like this, why I have this government, why it's happened with me. It's happened. You have it. It's your reality. And you have choice to continue to hate and to blame, or continue to love and to find something nice. And when you start to change your reality and to say, why I love that my father was alcoholic, or for what I appreciate if he was cheater, or why I love my mother who beat me. You start to change your mind, your brain, and one moment you feel only huge appreciation, respect, trust to your family, to your country, to all what happened around you, and you change your vibration and you go to interest, to excitement, to joy, to happiness and conscious love. And finally, you feel like we are all everything together. You are not separate part of the world. We are one. We are one and we are together. Beautiful. And in this energy, you can burn all your negative beliefs. You say, stop, it's enough. I don't want to continue to blame somebody. I grew up. And it's a very magical word in my seminars, webinars, sessions. I say enough. When you can tell enough to blame mother, father, government, ex-husband, children, somebody else. When you take totally responsibility from your money, from your life. My first salary was 350 euro. It was not enough from nothing. And then I say, I don't want to live for this. I live in one very old, ugly apartment in the city. And they say, I don't want, I need to change it. And I start to make a lot of practice. One of practice, which I did, I go out in the night and I scream on the moon, I want money, 1,000 euro. This it was huge money for me. It was my 3 salary. And suddenly they give us project and they put me in this project and I receive this money after 1 month. I say, wow, God, it's work. Interesting. Let's change more things. And I start all my system, how I become a successful, make my successful company. I don't want to say amount of money, but very successful company. I put in my book as a system, how you go from zero really to millions and how you start to create something very successful. And it's possible. You even work less. Also, I can tell that it's not when you work too much, you not make big money. You need to change in a way of working, need to work less, but to be very quality and to delegate. Delegation, I explain in my book, and I have a big team. I create my team. Tomorrow I go to team building with my team. You need to work with your team, not to do all alone. Delegate.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love that, what you're describing about the enough, or just speaking to the moon. A couple things come to my mind about that. First of all, it's just the clarity of what we actually do want, because when sort of The Secret came out many years ago and people were starting the process, it became popular to manifest, to create. How do you do it? What are the words? What are the thoughts? What are the feelings? What are the qualities? And part of it was really, I find that even still to this day, people will say, I want more, or I want less, or I don't want to be sick. And putting it in the positive, I want to be vital. I want to be beautiful. I want to be able to hop around and play like my little kids do. In other words, really having the qualities of what health is, not just to say I want to be healthy, and having that clarity. And I find, even with myself, it is sometimes difficult to get to what I really want, like what I can envision for myself, how I can see my life in 6 months, in a year, what I can feel and touch. And it's one of the beautiful exercises you have in the book, which kind of made me like, because it was really, I'll pick a number. In 1 year, you asked the people, What do you see around you? What are the clothes you're wearing? What's the car you're driving? What are the foods you're eating? Who are the people you're with? Who are you sleeping with? Who's hopping out of the bed next to you? These are, guys, you must get this book and do these exercises because that is so powerful. It's just really, really where it's at, as we used to say. It's like having the qualities, feeling the feelings. You don't necessarily have to see, diamond necklaces hanging. You can if you want. But it's just the feeling. Some people just feel like they want to be more stable. They don't want to be afraid that they won't get rent or this or that. And you're allowing the people in these exercises to push past that. Again, like I was saying about me, earlier, to say, yes, what would it feel like if I looked out my window and I saw this beach scene, which you can kind of see in my background, from my window, or a forest, or beautiful kind of Irish mist everywhere. Like, what do I want? Do I want to live on a ship? Or do I want to see a Ferrari? Or do I just dig a really cool Volkswagen Beetle convertible? I mean, there's no judgment, there's no anything. But what do we feel that would make our hearts sing, and not with the judgment or the fear that we can't have it, but just have fun with it, I think, is also the opportunity that we as women have, a little more than men, to be able to be a little more playful, to be a little more like, clay that we can mold a little bit and kind of play with. So I love that exercise so much. Thank you. Thank you for it in your book.
It's fantastic. It's my exercise, which I created many years ago. It's called 3D. When after all the books techniques which you make in the book, you need to make visualization, exactly how Sunny explained, where you live, your home, all details. After, you need to write it in the 3D. First, you say, I live in this house, in this city, I drive this car. After, you need to say you, like somebody speak about you and say, you live in this house, you drive this car, you wear this clothes. And after, if you're a woman, you say she lives in this house, or he lives in this house, he drives this car, she. And in 3 times, you took your phone and you make a recording. You read these stories 3 times, I, you, she, or he, and you listen it 21 days. And it's huge changes. It's fantastic. I have a lot of stories of people who totally changed. One people in London, they invite me. They was 2 engineering in company with 2,000 salary. After this business, my story and this book, they bought they have their house. Now they have 3rd baby. Biggest baby 18 years old, and small baby just born now. And they invite me to see baby, to see house, and hug me and say, thank you so much. Been on your seminar and we did practice, and it was like not possible. As reality, you say believe. And it was, I was crying from happiness from them. And I see the stories, but guys, believe. And make visualization and work for this. It's practice, it's techniques. I explain all in the book. It's visualization, one huge part, but after you need to make actions, which I gave exactly in the book, very practical from female way. And I am totally can promise that if you will follow all what I read to you, to make for you, to explain it, to write for you, if you will read it and you will follow it, you will have fantastic success. You don't have chance not to have success.
Well, it's so beautiful. And again, I think that's something that we in the sort of spiritual world had quite a challenge with, because it was sort of the St. Francis of Assisi mentality that there was a bit of a shame about having worldly goods and anything worldly. And it was sort of more about, oh, no, not me, and all of that. And I think that what we've moved to in the spirit, sort of the make a difference spiritual community is, again, the balance. It's okay. And for some people, they want to have these really cool tiny home hut things that are in a forest, and they're very economical, or not so much environmentally economical. They take very little resources and things. Other people want something grand, whatever it is. But I think that is something that we're sort of moving into. And And also really telling the truth to ourselves about it. It's like it's okay, giving ourselves the permission. And again, what these exercises that you have in your book, The Entrepreneur's Map to Navigating Success, is the, again, the permission, but also the clarity and taking the moment to say, yes, how do I want my life to look? And it is things like the food I see in front of me, the dishes I see in front of me, the table I have there. How is the setting of the table? And again, who am I dining with? When I look in the mirror, what do I see around me? How do I look? Am I healthy and vital? Do I feel that I'm taking care of myself, getting good sleep, getting self-love, self-care? These things make such a difference. And when we give ourselves the permission for that, as we know, it trickles out and it really affects everyone around us. And we're just a lot more fun to be around. Right?
Yeah. Inspiration, something very important. I like to wake up people and to help people to dream. Very often when you're a small child, and especially when you grow up in poor family and problematic family, you used to survive. And all your resources, all your limbic system looking how to survive. And when I make a family constellation and I work very deep with unconscious mind, like clinical psychologist, I help people to go in childhood, and we start always from childhood. When we say, you have permission to dream. All okay with you. You are good enough to receive, you are good enough to have a relationship. You are good enough to receive all what you need. You are good enough. And when you have this, I am good enough, suddenly you don't okay to accept a narcissistic partner in your life. You don't okay when boss scream on you and you accept situation. You start to say, no, I don't okay with this. I want to go out of this. And many clients who came to me, or sometimes divorce, and they find better partner, or say the boss, no, I don't want to work overtime without paid. If you want to work more, I want to be paid. Or increase the prices which they are doing, open own businesses, change the companies. And I'm very proud of you. But you need to have permission that you are good enough for nice life. You are totally right that somebody needs small house, somebody needs apartment, somebody wants to go with bicycles. For example, at the moment, we have very good car, but I prefer to go with bicycles and to take a bus. And my husband say, it's only you can have so expensive car and to go with bus. I don't care. As one moment when you achieve some targets, often I have many friends, millionaires, very often it's very simple people. Very simple, because when you have it, you don't care.
Well, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. And as you're chatting sort of off and on throughout the show, I'm thinking of compassion. I'm thinking of the word compassion. And I'm thinking that if you are a global citizen of any position on this planet at this point, compassion is such an important, beautiful, important, and lovely and significant emotion or quality to have. And you as a large owner of businesses having a lot of different responsibilities with social media and shows and books and your actual businesses and coaching other people with their businesses, don't you find that it really helps so much for you? And being a mom of a 3-year-old, congratulations about that. I used to have 2 of those. Now they're big. But it never seems to change. I remember exactly like how they were when they were 3, and now they're a lot older, but I remember those days. The compassion that we have for others. And so you really can understand a mom who's going through whatever, or a person who didn't have money or security financially, or was abused by their husband, or whatever the situation, and they're struggling to put into practice what you have in any of your books or your shows or your any advice. And so you have that compassion for them, right? Like you just do. I feel you do.
You know, I grew up in a very poor family. My family very intelligent, but we live very poor. And we had one shoes which always was with some problems, and was very cold. And I remember when again I go with these poor shoes on the street, and it's windy, cold, minus 20 degrees. And I say, one day I will have shoes, normal shoes. One day I will have normal food and I will eat all what I want, not only potato. One day I will live in home. In home also was very cold. I will in a warm home. I was sure about this. That it's not my life. I said something wrong. I am not in correct place. I know that it's not my life. And I was work very hard for this. My mother yesterday, she told me, I'm very proud of you. How you did it, how you go from one small village and become to be famous star. You learn new languages, you remove, you did all. Really, nobody in our family don't do it. Maybe you already can stop because you're already big enough. I say, mother, how to stop? So many people need me. And I love what I'm doing, but you're right about balance. But here again, you need trust people and to delegate. I have 2 times very strong burnout. Who pass burnout knows that it's very dangerous when you cannot work, when you lay down and you cannot eat, you cannot breathe, you want to die. And when I did it second time, I said, Natalia, stop. I must to delegate. I open academy of trainer. I prepare now female coach, people who work through my system. I work with clients because I have too much clients. I cannot take all the clients. I start to delegate people from projects to put other trainers, to teach trainers, to make sessions, other trainers which I study, to make the books. People work not only from personal session with me through my books. And all time I think how to delegate more and more and more and more and more, and to have more and more time. Because one moment time become to be more expensive than money, than all, and you want to spend it with your children, with your husband, with your friends. One moment you need to go in this moment. If not, you are sick. It has something wrong because all people need only, if you're hardworking, it's problem. You need to go to psychologist and to ask why, say why. Because you need to have life, not only working. And this is what you told, balance, very, very important.
Oh, it's so important. And also, another thing that I wrote down that I really wanted to make sure that we chat about are things exactly that you're speaking about. How you describe certain things that we deal with as a consciousness, and we talk about all the time, decluttering, these kinds of concepts that have been talked about for, a number of years at this point, where it's sort of a very the Zen quality of our vision that we see around us, the yin yang, the feng shui. That famous Japanese girl who was saying, if you don't use it in a year, get rid of it, or if it doesn't bring you joy, get rid of it. I think one can go a little deeper than that. I think that's a little broad brush, a little, I don't play that specifically. I do love how, though, you in the book really, really describe the importance of decluttering. And I also feel about decluttering, I would use another term, which is releasing and allowing someone else to enjoy it. I used to say that to my kids when they would outgrow stuff, and I would say, it's beautiful. We loved it. We enjoyed it until we did. And now let's let another little boy enjoy it. So the idea of recycling the energy, the love and joy that we had when we bought this book, this dress, this toy, this pair of shoes, whatever it is, this teacup, it's like, okay, I enjoy it until I don't, and then I'm going to allow someone else to enjoy it. And then I have just around me what I love. So, yeah. And so I do appreciate that you don't just talk about decluttering like, give away things, whatever. I used to be, and I still do, counsel people on styling, and I go in their closet. And one of the things that I say is, they say, I have to keep this t-shirt because, like when I wash my car or work out. No, people. First of all, you don't wash your car that much, and you should look cute washing your car. What does it matter? And you definitely want to look good when you're working out. So get rid of anything that you don't love, doesn't look great on you, isn't a great color, isn't stained, whatever. Just let it go, people. Let it go. Let it go.
Exactly. It's one was in the first exercise. When I start to make my first money, I start to be very big consumer. I want to buy all. Every day I come back with some clothes. And one period of time, I understood I have too much and I need to give it. When I collect, I took 2, 3 big car with clothes, and I go to charity. I say I give my clothes free. We go some houses and has children who not has parents, and we gave it to them a lot. I have so much clothes. I gave it almost all, and now I have one very small wardrobe. I use only things which I really need.
And
I
you
make
love.
very shortly buying. I go only with stylish client, and one of lady who take care about my stylish. And I say I need one dress, one 2 t-shirts. I have very little at the moment, and already I don't feel happy with this. Or I gave it to people. I have several single mothers which I help here in London. I collect, I call them, they go to take and from Philip and from me. I don't collect anything.
And
And
it's
I learned it
such
also to make, and my son and my husband, we always have very little things which we use now.
and
And
you
if
use
something
all of
broken,
it. Yeah. And then it's just like food, how Italians and many in Europe get fresh food every day. By the way, I want to just let you know that my charming engineer, Mark, tells us that we have about 1 more minute. So I want to make sure that we really give the peeps exactly how to get together with you and know everything. So I'm going to let you go for it.
yeah, welcome from my website, kobylkina.com. My book, Navigating Success, you can find in Amazon. Natalia Kobylkina, my Instagram, my social media, Facebook, YouTube channel. We're very happy. I make private sessions, me and my team, seminars, geisha, how to be rich, how to grow up in your business. We have 350 programs. We have free ebooks, email leadership, or on kobylkina.com. You can find all our products. Welcome, guys, and we're very happy to help you to change your life and to find partner and to increase money and to be happy woman.
Oh, and I really, really want to thank you, Natalia, for joining us today in America. But of course, as you guys know, this show goes all over the place. So you'll be watching this in Germany and wherever you are. And I just want to remind you that everything that Natalia is talking about is so important. And it is maybe not every tidbit we can put into practice right away, but we certainly can take step by step, doing one thing and allowing that to expand us a little bit, and then bringing it deeper and bigger and really making a difference in the world. And as you guys know, I always say, do something for yourself today that your future self will thank you for. And I really, really want to thank you, Natalia, for being with us. And I want uproarious applause to be happening right now.
Thank you, Sunny. You're amazing.
Thank you. And I really hope to continue our conversation in many ways. And much love to you and your child and your husband. Bye-bye for now.
You.